Hey guys, Ray here, welcome to the channel. So today we are building our own DIY battery from a pre-made kit. It's supposed to go together really easily and fast, and this could save you over $1,000 from some of the batteries we have in the back here. And I've shied away from getting these, but battery prices are starting to go up quite a bit. So this is going to be a perspective of someone new that has never put one of these together before. But let's go ahead and try it out. Wow. That is cool. So it looks like the legs of the top battery will go in these slots to kind of hold it together. And then this will latch. Just over 10.5. 17 3/8. With the terminals, it looks like it comes out to be 30 1/4. I like that this design is very square and the batteries clip together and it doesn't use a very big footprint. So it looks like each battery, it's about just over 14 kilowatt hours of capacity. So if I stuck 3 of them, it'll come out to be about there. So almost 45 kilowatt hours in that small of a space. And this wouldn't even get in the way when I walk back and forth here. So that's actually pretty nice. Dang. Okay. So you don't need to do this, but I had to open the cover just to look inside at this wiring. Yeah, everything looked pretty simple in here. All the bolts were torqued down properly. This has the JK battery management system and an app where you can really control pretty much any setting that you want. Yeah, it seems pretty easy. Seems like all I need to do is just put the cells in and then connect the terminals. But this is going to get really heavy, so I decided just to put it on a cart, and then I can move it around because it's probably going to be over 200 pounds once everything's in.
But if people, are these batteries like cheaper than like one that's already pre-built?
Yeah, by about $1,000.
Oh, so it's worth it if it's not that hard to put together. How good are these batteries compared to like those on the wall? Like, are these lower quality?
Well, I'm going to do a capacity test to see how much energy is in here. But if I were to open one of those batteries, I wouldn't be surprised if the cells are exactly the same.
Like from the same Chinese company that built them?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, that's interesting.
But they look like really good cells. Probably from the same factory. Okay, it says I need to check the voltage to make sure all the voltage is consistent. Okay, I'm just going to connect everything up onto these bus bars here. So to keep the voltage low, I'm just going to connect one side, and then I'll connect the other side, and then at the last step, I'll put that jumper bus bar in. They say 5 to 6 Newton meters, and that's 5 Newton meters is 44 inch pounds. So that's what I have this set to. If I do it more, it might strip out the lug as it connects to the cells. So red is connected to the positive, that's nice. And these are really nice because there's really fine strands of copper in here, and this is flexible, so it can expand and contract. So it looks like I do have 4 of these larger black ring terminal connections here. I'm not sure what these go to. Let me do some more research real quick and see if I can find out. Okay, it looks like these cables have got to be the temperature sensors, but the image on the screen has them connected to these terminals here. Yeah, so I'm just going to do the same. Dang it, looks like I put this battery in backwards. I need to flip that around. Okay, so Watts 247 did mention that their first shipment of batteries, you need to drill a hole for this bus bar. Now, I just stripped out some of the insulation, and the metal is really soft, and so it was really pretty easy to drill these holes. Okay, time to measure the voltage with everything connected together. 52.7 volts. Okay, that's good. This is kind of the scary part, though. There we go. Yeah, we're good. Oh, I forgot. Here's the positive lead. Now this needs to be on this terminal, according to the picture for the BMS. So there's this one negative lead and this one positive lead here. So I'm trying to be very careful with the tools here, because if I drop a metal tool across these leads, it could be a really large arc flash. These guys should hook on just like little Legos. There's that. Okay. Okay, looks like we have this. This is the fire extinguisher. They want it to go right here. I love having these in. I don't know why. This extra peace of mind, I guess. I think we can try turning it on. We'll just do a little slow pass through here. Okay, moment of truth. That's on. Okay. Huh. See what we got here. 0%. 98%. Interesting. Cool. So that 98% really wasn't accurate. I needed to charge the battery up and recalibrate it. I'll show you that in a little bit. I'm just going to put this cover back on because I don't want any tools falling across these terminals, because that would be really bad. Let's hook this up to an inverter and let's do some testing on this thing. Kind of a cool little cart. Okay, so this is the most recent version of this wall mount battery DIY kit. It's probably, I believe it's the best version out there on the market right now. So it does have this built-in circuit breaker. It does have a newer screen, which is really nice. Maybe they'll make this next year, is it doesn't have a pre-charge resistor circuit built in, like the wall mount batteries I have currently on my house. This inverter has capacitors in here. So if I were to turn this battery on and just, connect the terminals, it's probably going to send so much current in there it'll blow the capacitors. So what I need to do here is I need to charge those resistors slowly, and I could buy a resistor to do that, or I don't have one of those. So what I'm going to use is this pencil here. This is a little hack that In mentioned. I'm just going to make sure this is in the on position, and this is in the on position. Little tiny spark. Okay, now that it's charged, I'm just going to connect it. So the battery does have an app for Android and also for Apple. Here it's called the JK-Bms. It has 100,000 downloads, very popular. And I'll just open it right now and turn Bluetooth on, and I can see my battery here. Now, in order to get into the app, you need to enter a password, which is 1234. Now, after you do that, you can see all of the different cell voltages. And I did make a couple changes. I'll show you what I've made. So, okay, once you enter the password for this section, which is 123456, you can go ahead and enter how many cells that you have inside your battery. So I have 16 cells, and the capacity of each battery is 280 amp hours for each. So I entered that. And then also, if you're finding that the voltage reading on the battery is different from what you're getting on your clamp meter, you can go ahead and calibrate that. And you can also calibrate the amperage. So I was reading online, and if it's slightly off, you can update that, and it'll help track the state of charge better. And okay, so there's another YouTuber that described all of these settings, and he builds these batteries a lot, and it's called Outdoor Garage. I'll leave a link to his video where he describes a lot of these settings. And in that video, he used the same type of cells that we're using. So I actually updated some of these, I think, to what he was using. But as far as the battery communication protocol, if you scroll down here, you can select what type of battery, what type of inverter you're communicating with. So here you could have Growatt, Victron, Mega Revo, which is the NHX. Here I have Lux Power selected because I have a EG4 Lux Power inverter. And if you have a different type of inverter, you can just go ahead and try all of those. Okay, so this is a communication cable that comes with the battery here. I believe it's a Cat5e cable, but it's not long enough. So I think this is used to connect the batteries together if you have multiple batteries. So if I have multiple batteries, I think what happens is you connect this to the port or underneath it. And then if you have another battery underneath that, you use this port here, and you can daisy chain them together. And in order to get your battery to communicate with your inverter, whatever type you have, you can use your communication cable here. This is just a Cat 6 Ethernet cable, I believe. And you can try all of these ports. This is the port that works for me. But once you have the right port selected, you'll be able to see your battery percentage, state of charge. That's how you know that it's working. And having battery communication with your inverter, that's just really a nice to have, not required. Okay, I'm just gonna power everything off, and I'm going to hook up a load here, and I'm also gonna hook solar up into this so we can charge the battery up. Okay, here's my solar panels. It's a cloudy day. I'm just gonna hook up half of these, but I've got another video on how I installed this and how I ran the wires from underneath the solar panels in the ground, and then into my house attic, and then into where I connected it into my house inverter. Before I disconnect everything, before I connect that up, I'm just going to make sure to turn my solar off so I can be safe. Yeah, these are 540 watt bifacial solar panels. Okay, I just connected solar to this. It's topped it off all the way, and it stops charging. So I'm gonna say that's 100%. And let's go ahead and discharge it down to where it stops and see what the capacity is. Looks like the battery just stopped, and it's showing 0% state of charge here. And on my app, I was able to get 13.1 kilowatt hours. I think it advertises 14.1 kilowatt hours. And so So I was running this pretty hard. I think if you're doing a real capacity test, you discharge it a little bit slower. But that's like my test. It was like 98% of its capacity. So that's pretty good. Okay. I'm just turning back on the solar here. Yeah, when I was discharging this battery, I was actually just sending the power into these batteries because I was sick of running all my heat guns outside. And so I just ran these cables from this output to the generator input of this unit. Okay, so what do I think of this battery? So I'll just go through the pros and cons. Let's go ahead and just start with the cons. Biggest con is if you're getting your home solar system inspected, depending on where you live, the inspector may not like that you're building your own batteries. Now, if you live out in the country, your inspector, they may not care at all that you have these batteries. The second issue I had was getting the state of charge to calibrate correctly. And I think I still need to charge it and discharge it a couple more times just to make sure it's tracking the state of charge properly. So as far as pros, you know, putting this together, it was way easier than I thought. I think if I did another one, I think I could put it together probably in under an hour. Literally, you just pull the cells out of the box, put them in the battery, connect all the bus bars, and then plug in the battery management system, and then you're good to go. The other thing I really like about this battery is its footprint. So I can have 4 of these batteries stacked high, and that's equivalent of almost 12 of the server rack batteries. Now, if I wanted 12 of the EG4 server rack batteries, I would need to buy 2 of the 6 server rack cabinets, and that'll use a lot of space in my garage. Now, these batteries, I can just tack 4 of them about this high, tuck them into a corner, and they'll use way less space. Now, Ruxu server rack batteries, they do have a cabinet that can hold 10 batteries, which is nice, but that cabinet is pretty bulky. There's a lot of empty space in that cabinet. There's pretty much 0 empty space. Now this I can stick next to the wall, and it's almost like a wall mount battery because it's so thin here. The other big pro of these is the price. So if you're building multiple of these batteries, you can literally save yourself thousands of dollars. So I still need to mess with this battery a little bit more. I need longer cables in order to parallel these with these batteries. I think I can just keep this battery as the master battery talking to the inverter here, and then I can connect this onto the side. But I think I really like the BMS system installed here. So if you look at the screen, you can easily see this blue cell is the highest, and it's sending current down to the lowest cell just to make sure they're all balanced properly. So I do have a 2% discount code that will work if you use the link in the description, or if you're watching from your TV, you can scan this QR code. But we will talk to you guys on the next one. Bye.